Hello everyone. So my name is Lavli Tripathi and I have taken your course module for social issues and social justice and also security issues in the previous lectures. So in order for the students to get access to both the courses, that is the course for security and social issues, they can download the ABCIS app from the Google Play Store and they can buy our courses from there. The respective course fee will be mentioned beneath the course and you can get the details of the course, that is according to the syllabus, how many topics have been included, everything will be, all the information will be available over there. And students can also visit our website, which is abcis.com, and from this website they can buy our courses. Okay, then apart from that, recorded lectures, if they want to get a file of recorded lectures and they want to listen to the entire lecture for a particular topic, they can also get access to those recorded lectures through our this Google Play link. You can go through this link, okay, Play Store link, and through this app link you can get access to the recorded lectures from here. So I'll repeat once again. I have taken, as a mentor, I have taken your classes and your lectures and I have prepared lecture videos for social issues and justice, which forms part of your GS paper 1 also and 2 also, and security issues I have taken, which forms part of your paper 3, UPSC main syllabus paper 3, and the entire recorded video lectures are available in this link. You can get access from here. Also, you can download the ABC IAS app from the Google Play Store and you can buy our courses. The course fee has been kept to the most affordable level. Okay, so that you can easily, it's not a burden on the students and they can buy our courses. The courses are well enriched, very informative, and they'll be very helpful for you to prepare these two subtopics from your UPSC GS मेंस पेपर 1, पेपर 2, पेपर 3 सिलेबस से। ये जो 3 टॉपिक्स है उनको आप अच्छी तरीके से इन कोर्सेज को ऑनलाइन बाय करके, and you can prepare comprehensively both these subjects, security issues and social justice, from this website abcis.com, and you can buy the courses. Also, you can download this app and you can buy our courses from that particular app. So now let's move forward. This will be our last lecture from our course module for social issues and social justice. And in this lecture, we'll be taking up the topic of welfare schemes which have been launched for the vulnerable sections of the population. Understand that in the syllabus, it has been clearly mentioned vulnerable sections for the of the population by the center and the states and the performance of these schemes. So we'll be just talking about the main government schemes, okay, so that you get an insight of if the question comes in the exam regarding the welfare schemes of the vulnerable section. So first of all, you must know what are the vulnerable groups which are present in our society. What do you mean by vulnerable groups? What are those vulnerable groups? And then how far government has taken initiatives to address the problems associated with these vulnerable groups as a welfare measure. Okay, obviously, if they are vulnerable groups, they are disadvantaged groups of the society, and in order to empower them, you need to launch lot of welfare initiatives to help them. Okay, so what are the vulnerable groups? Vulnerable groups are the groups which would be vulnerable under any circumstances. Okay, and these groups are the ones whose resource endowment is inadequate to provide them sufficient income from any available source. So the first point that you understand about the vulnerable groups is that they have got very insufficient financial resources, okay, and they do not have enough resources at their disposal also. So their income is also inadequate, they do not have sufficient money with them and sufficient financial resources नहीं है उनके पास, and also they have got very few resources. Okay, certain groups in the society often encounter discriminatory treatment, okay, because of their socio-economic background or socio-economic factors. They often face discriminatory treatment in the society, and they need special attention to avoid potential exploitation. This population constitutes what is called as the vulnerable groups. Vulnerable groups are disadvantaged as compared to others mainly on account of their reduced access to medical services also, and underlying determinants of health such as safe and potable drinking water, nutrition, housing, sanitation, etc. So these groups are disadvantaged not just on the on the basis of access to medical services, but also safe and potable drinking water, nutrition, housing, sanitation, etc. In India, now there are multiple socio-economic disadvantages that members of the particular groups experience, which limits their access to health and healthcare. Now, there are multiple and complex factors of vulnerability with different layers and often more often ones than once it cannot be analyzed in isolation. Okay, so there are multiple and complex factors behind their vulnerability. There are several prominent factors on the basis of which individuals or members of the groups are discriminated in India. There could be structural factors, age, disability भी हो सकती है, ठीक है ना, जो कि inherent होती है. फिर उसके बाद mobility, stigma and discrimination that act as barriers to health and healthcare and other such basic amenities for life. Vulnerable groups that face discrimination include women, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe because of their socio-economic backwardness. Okay, children also because जो चिल्ड्रन होते हैं, स्पेशली जो पुअर चिल्ड्रन होते हैं, लाइक पुअर हाउस होल्ड के जो चिल्ड्रन होते हैं, दे यूजुअली हैव टू परफॉर्म लॉट ऑफ चाइल्ड लेबर. ओके, दे हैव टू परफॉर्म लॉट ऑफ चाइल्ड लेबर, एंड वैसे भी एज चिल्ड्रन दे फेस लॉट ऑफ problems in the society because obviously they are the ones who need the utmost care. Okay, then aged people also, disabled, poor, migrants also, sexual minorities also. So these are certain vulnerable groups of our society. Sometimes each group faces multiple barriers due to their multiple identities. For example, in a patriarchal society, disabled women jo hoti hai, they face double discrimination. First discrimination because being women, and second that because they are disabled. Okay, the first vulnerable group about which we will study in our society is the women. So what is the role of women in our society, and what is the problems that women as a lot face in our society, that everything related to that, and then the government initiatives to address the problems of women in our society. So women in the society, they have been considered inferior than men for many years. See, though now we have progressed a lot as a society, and there are a lot of ideas regarding promoting equality between men and women, but if you see the ground reality, then in many remote and far villages and even in the urban areas, you will find that still women are very inferior to men, and because that status has been maintained since many years. Because such a type of inferiority, they have to face various issues and problems in their life. Okay, women is seen in the society with more intense ridicule and becomes at risk of honor killing also if she is involved in the love marriage or intercaste love marriage. Women face a lot of challenges because of the existence of patriarchal society. Patriarchal society means in which the dominance of male is there. The males dominate the society, that is called as the patriarchal society. Child bearing and family care roles भी women को करने पड़ते हैं. डीप रूटेड कल्चरल नॉर्म्स भी women को फॉलो करने पड़ते हैं, उसकी वजह से कई बार बहुत प्रॉब्लम्स होती हैं. ओके, now women in India, they do not have equal access to autonomy, mobility to go outside the home, social freedom, etc. than men. Okay, so women in India do not have access to these particular things. Then women in India, they face lots of social issues and problems also all through the life, which are a big struggle for them right from the beginning of their life. Female infanticide is a very common prevalence in our country. Okay, that's the most common practice of killing girl child in the mother's womb only. Then another common problem for women is the sex determination which they face from their birth, and it continues till their death. Okay, illiteracy हो गया, lack of proper education हो गया, responsible for household works, rape, sexual harassment at workplace, etc. are some big issues for the women in India. So whether it is illiteracy, the problem of illiteracy for women, lack of proper education, okay, responsible for household works, rape, sexual harassment at workplace, all these are the various problems which are faced by women in India. Now, what are the issues faced by women in India? There are various issues and problems which women generally face in the society in India, and some of the problems are mentioned below. First is the selective abortion and female infanticide. It's the most common practice for years in India in which abortion of female fetus is performed in the womb of woman after the fetal sex determination. Okay, and sex selective abortion, that is a very bad practice in India. Okay, Then sexual harassment, form of sexual exploitation of a girl child at home, streets, public places, etc. Then dowry and bride burning. Everyone is aware of the practice of dowry, which is still prevalent in very high societies also. Then disparity in education, level of women education is less than men still in the modern age. Okay, female illiteracy is higher in rural areas where over 63 or more percent of the women have been unlettered. Then domestic violence, it's like endemic and widespread disease affects almost 70% of the Indian women according to the Women and Child Development officials. It is performed by husband, relative, or any other family member. Then girls, they do not have any property rights. Child marriages, early marriage of the girl by their parents in order to be escaped from dowry, that is highly practiced in rural India. Now, what are the provisions which are given in the constitution for the protection and for the purpose of women empowerment? Okay, so India's constitution makers, they were very determined to provide equal rights to both men and women. So our constitution emphasizes on providing equal rights to both men and women. It provides provisions to secure equality in general and also gender equality in particular. Various articles in the Constitution safeguard women's rights and they put them at par with men socially, politically, and economically. Preamble may, fundamental rights may, DPSPs may, and other constitutional provisions which provide several general and special safeguards to secure women's human rights. Now, what are the provisions which are given in the preamble of the Constitution to secure women's rights? So, preamble to the Constitution of India, it assures justice, okay, social, economic, and political equality of status and opportunity and dignity to the women. So it's given in the constitution that it assures justice, social, economic, and political. So obviously it pertains that it is obviously protecting the and assuring justice to be provided, social, economic, and political to the women of the country. Also, equality of status and opportunity should be preserved, and dignity of the women should be also preserved. Okay, in Article 14, it ensures the women's rights to equality. Article 15 clause 1, it specifically prohibits discrimination on the basis of sex. Then Article 15 clause 3 empowers the state to take affirmative action in favor of women. Okay, several acts such as Dowry Prevention Act have been passed, including the most recent one of Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act 2005. So this act, which has been passed in 2005 to prevent women from domestic violence, or you can say Dowry Prevention Act, all these are a kind of affirmative action which are taken in favor of women. And this Domestic Violence Act is a very strong act, okay, passed by the government to protect the women from the domestic violence that they face at home. So provisions of the Domestic Violence Act you can read anytime, but it's a very strong act which has been passed for the favor of women. Okay, then Article 16 provides equality of opportunity for all the citizens in matters relating to employment, appointment to any office, etc., and that includes women also. Then Article 23, fundamental rights against exploitation, flesh trade has been banned. These rights being fundamental, they are justiciable in court and the government is obliged to follow the same. Then directive principles of state policy also mention, they contain important provisions regarding women empowerment and it is the duty of the government to follow these principles. Okay. Now what are the other constitutional provisions? 73rd and 74th constitutional amendment that has given a very important political right to women, which is a landmark in the direction of women empowerment, especially in rural India. Okay. With this amendment, women were given 33.3% reservation in seats at different levels of election in the local government bodies, or you can say at panchayat, block and municipality elections. With 33% of reservation has been provided to the women under this constitutional amendment. So after the Panchayati Raj Act was enforced, the women, in order to ensure empowerment of women at panchayat, block and municipality elections, 33% of the seats were reserved for women. So this has gone a long way to promote women empowerment in the local levels. Okay. Specific laws for women empowerment in India were enacted by the Parliament in order to fulfill constitutional obligation of women empowerment. And those laws are like Equal Remuneration Act, okay, Dowry Prohibition Act, Immoral Traffic Prevention Act, Maternity Benefit Act 1961. Now this law is a very important law which is dealing with the maternity benefits that should be provided to the women. Okay. Now, suggestions for solving the problems of women. So, first of all, women should be educated. Education widens their horizons, broadens their outlook, and it makes them more aware of their constitutional and legal rights, reproductive rights. human rights. See, even if you have got all the rights in the country, you have got constitutional rights also, fundamental legal rights also, but if you are not educated for that and you are not aware of your rights, how will you exercise those rights? So that's why education is very important, because it broadens your outlook and it makes you aware of all the kind of rights. Okay, constitutional, legal, reproductive, human rights. You get women will get after this education, women will be aware of all its rights. Okay, so they can exercise those rights. Mass literacy campaigns also should be launched on a large scale. Emphasis should be laid on enrollment and retention of the girl child in formal schooling and no formal education through incentive schemes such as midday meals, free supply of textbooks, uniforms, school bags, etc. Then prenatal diagnostic techniques or PNDT to ban the sex determination. This act was passed basically to ban the sex determination of the unborn child to check the female infanticide. Okay, because if this practice continues, then that is a very exploitative for women as a mother also, and the unborn child is also usually killed if its sex is determined. Okay, other enactments relating marriage, divorce, adoption, succession, dowry, and moral protection should be implemented for the protection and emancipation of women. So there must be laws or strong legislations being carried out in other areas like marriage, divorce, adoption, etc., succession, dowry, and all, so as to prevent exploitation of women and for the emancipation of women. Okay. Then proper creches should be made available at or near the workplace for the proper care of our children while she is away to work. A keen interest and sincere attention of the government is highly essential to improve the health and nutrition of this vulnerable section of the society. Protection should be given. Indian society can't progress until we provide equal opportunity to women in every walk of life. All bodies of the government must treat women in equal manner and respect their rights. A proven way to overcome many systematic barriers to a woman's success has been increased participation by women in local, regional, and national legislation as empowered change agents. A woman's voice and her ability to become a leader in her community is fundamental to empowering women. So all these social factors also, okay, wherein you promote emancipation of women, and how do you do that? By increased participation of the women in local, regional, and national legislation. Okay, so this is how you empower women. Okay, then what are the welfare schemes which have been launched related to women? The first was One Stop Center scheme, which was launched in 2015 to provide integrated support and assistance under one roof to women which are affected by violence, both in private and public spaces in phased manner. So this was the first scheme. Okay, we will be studying mostly the recent schemes which have been launched, and one of the recent schemes was One Stop Center. Okay, to provide integrated support and assistance under one roof to women.